You need to leave, sir.
No, I'm going to get the on-call DSS worker.
I just spent the last 3 hours sitting with a mother who dug her children out of a landslide to later be assaulted by the local police department and have DCYF remove 3 of her children. I will be going with her to the DCYF or DSS office tomorrow. I am in Western North Carolina right now, for those that don't know. I'm going to be sharing some more information about what this woman has just experienced in the next few slides. I have been here for a week and it feels like a fucking eternity. What is happening in Western North Carolina right now and Tennessee is not okay. These people are not okay.
That was my bedroom, our bedroom, and part of our living room. There's my car that was parked right next to the front door. Blue Subaru 2008. Can you please leave my property now?
No, I cannot.
You need to leave.
No,
You need to leave, sir.
No, I'm going to get the on-call DSS worker
Which I have done nothing.
to
Excuse
come
me.
and consult with you and your kids.
You need to
make
leave.
sure everything's okay.
My property. I am fine.
Do I need to detain you?
Do you? Have I done something illegal or wrong by being upset and somebody apparently decided to call police for some reason, which is insane?
I don't have no confrontation with you.
Well, you do, because you're here on my porch right now bothering me at 10:38, scaring my children after we just almost died in a landslide. We just lost everything in a landslide. I'm surprised. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be all cheery happy about that, sir?
I'm sorry.
Is there something illegal about being upset after almost dying and having to dig my children in a rubble? You're here bothering me after I lost everything in this world, and this is my only sanctuary.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Oh, that's why she's all protected. Are you mobile? Your neighbor getting you all supplies and stuff?
House your wife, mom,
Fill you with fear. The trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Today, I'm going to let my husband's update speak for itself. He went out to help some people in a trailer park who needed it. And this is what he saw along the way. I've had people accuse me of lying about all of this, and I just want to remind you that we don't get to decide what other people experience. I'm sharing the experiences of my husband and the people that he's working with. Maybe you've lost everything, maybe you haven't. Maybe the government has helped you, and maybe they haven't. But we shouldn't be trying to discredit anybody right now. We need to be a team.
This is why some of y'all states be getting hurricanes. That's all I'm going to say.
Level 3.
in Embryville, Tennessee. Total devastation.
I don't know how long I can stay in grief on TikTok before I start getting mad on TikTok, and I guess we're slowly reaching that point about WNC Hurricane Helene in Appalachia, because my videos have stopped getting views, the engagement has plummeted, and it's just infuriating. We have people dying in their homes because no one can get to them and they don't have food or water. We have towns that are completely wiped off of the map. Entire towns. Imagine waking up tomorrow and that cute little suburb town that's maybe 20 minutes from you is just gone. And then the media is saying that the death count is 30. 30? They're bringing in refrigeration trucks to house the lost souls. Okay? Thousands are gone. Thousands are gone. And our government is saying that we've lost 30 to this hurricane. No, I'm mad. I do think I am mad now, because we are being forgotten, and Appalachia has always been forgotten. Appalachia is only resourceful because they have never had what they needed from anyone else and has had to make do with what they could provide for themselves and their family, and then their community. It is the people here, the victims of this, that are caring for each other, who are taking care of each other, who are making sure that we have what we need. This is why I'm encouraging you to donate to boots on the ground, mutual aid organizations, community-based organizations, Cajun Navy, okay? Beloved Asheville, Pansy Collective. Like, please. These are the people who are trying to help us. The Anarchist Collective near my house has done more for this community in the past week than the government has. Full stop. Full stop. I'm gonna keep posting, and my videos probably aren't gonna be that fun, but I'm gonna keep telling you what's happening here. The Swannanoa River and the French Broad River are now considered toxic. Like, you can't, the firefighters' boots are melting off of their feet because the amount of just debris and waste and chemicals in those rivers, which then feed tributaries, which then feed creeks, which you have to understand the scale of this is massive. This isn't about the Biltmore house flooding. This isn't about, you know, oh, I went to college in Boone. Oh, I got married in Asheville. Yeah, and you know, all of the people who took care of you while you were here and fed you and took care of you in Airbnbs and hotels and all of that shit, we're the ones who were drowning, who were washed away, who are trying to survive in this new reality. So, like, step it up. Share our stories, engage with our content, donate, but make a difference, because no one else is.
So we're finally back up here in Bat Cave. It's getting harder and harder to access this spot. We spent about 5 hours yesterday trying to get here. We went up number 9, which is usually a 25-minute trip from Black Mountain. And we got stopped at the bottom of the mountain and we're there for about 2 hours. So we went back around up 74, which is near Fairview. And we got stopped there also. So we kind of had to reevaluate. We didn't make it up here yesterday. They're doing a lot of road work and stuff like that, a lot of independent, a lot of DOT, power companies. So we finally made it back up here today, and we're supplying this hub a little bit at a time. We're doing small trips. This is a very tight place. It's small, there's a lot of destruction, and there's not a lot of room for parking without making it a big cluster trying to come up here. So we're feeding in supplies a little at a time. These guys are being able to supply the community with things like hot meals and generators and all the essentials that they need. The road that I showed you on the video the other day from Bat Cave to Chimney Rock, the only way you could describe it is wasteland, just desolate. It looked impossible for there ever be a road back here, the way the terrain's just shifted. But there was some guys that came in from West Virginia, they're miners. And they pulled up to us in a pickup truck and they said, well, we're gonna fix this road. I'm not gonna lie, we all kind of laughed a little bit and it just seemed impossible. But I'm gonna tell you what they're doing right now and I wanna show you. They're rebuilding this road from Bat Cave to Chimney Rock. They have all the equipment in here. They came up on their own time, on their own dime, and they're here to fix this road and give access to these people from Chimney Rock to Bat Cave or vice versa. It's absolutely incredible what the people are doing. And this isn't a government agency. This is independent guys that are miners in West Virginia, and they're here and they are absolutely busting ass. This area is so full of history, from Hickory Nut Gap to the Native Americans to the settlement of the Scotch Irish and the last of the Mohicans, movies being made here, and such a big part of American history. And it makes you think what's going on right now with all the people coming together and doing things and literally moving mountains. That'll be a huge part of our modern American history and talked about for years to come.
But it's the look in her eyes that I can't forget. Last night, somebody was at the river and just looking at the destruction and cars upside down and saw Halloween costumes floating down a river. And then she saw faces and realized they weren't costumes. She said, I've seen bodies and I'm not okay with that. And then somebody called and said, when is somebody gonna come collect all the bodies that have piled up?
This is alleged TikTok. Do not take it down. There are reports coming out of Western North Carolina and Asheville that allegedly people are getting extremely sick after volunteering. Another report of cadaver dogs expiring or becoming really sick. I also saw that volunteers who went on horseback, the horses are getting really sick. They did draw blood, but as of now, inconclusive. So you're probably wondering what all this means. Well, alleged TikTok, there was a nuclear power plant that had gallon drums. They originally came out and said that they were test barrels, and there wasn't a lot of them. Truth be told, there was a lot of test barrels at that were washed downstream, and it's in the mud now. 10 to 20 feet underground. Am I saying this is the cause of the sickness? I'm not, because we don't have proof, hence why it's alleged. I mean, sewers ruptured, septic tanks ruptured. We do know that for a fact because of all the damage. However, If these gallon drums, 55-gallon drums, are in fact in the mud, underground, the maths for me.
We deployed Grindstone Ministries for the 46th time to your neck of the woods, Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina, with the expectation that, oh, it's a hurricane. We do hurricanes, no big deal. Bring me skid steers and track hose and chainsaws and bottled water and food, and we'll handle this. Yeah, that was the easy part. It has been unlike any other deployment we've ever been on, absolutely unprecedented. This is the only disaster I've ever worked, and I've been doing this since Hurricane Katrina. It's the only one I've ever worked that the federal government is actively working against recovery. They're actively working against the recovery process, which tells me they've got something to hide. And I believe that they do have something to hide, because we're already getting reports, firsthand reports of cadaver dogs that are dying, that we're walking through these areas, especially in your neck of the woods, walking through the silt, walking through the muck, even going through decon afterwards, being decontaminated. I've got reports, one guy had 10 dogs there, and 4 of his dogs are already dead, and the other 6 are dying, in the process of dying. Got another woman, firsthand account, that was rescuing horses, was leading horses through the muck and the mud and the river, and the horses are so incredibly sick that they started doing blood tests on the horses, and the tests that have been coming back are, in their words, literally off the chart.
A lot of people have stopped talking about Western North Carolina and what happened there with Helene. I know it's not really a hot topic anymore. I've promised everybody that I'm always going to continue talking about it as I see more information that comes out about it. And although the government continues to state that everything in Western North Carolina is okay, FEMA has pulled out, the Red Cross has pulled out, because they said that these people don't need any more help, which is obviously the biggest bullshit story that we've ever heard. If you check my repost, I repost things about North Carolina all the time. People begging for help and resources, and people that are providing those resources telling us about how bad things still are there. Because FEMA and the Red Cross pulled out, a lot of the shelters that were open or opportunities for housing are now gone. So people who don't have houses don't have any more opportunities for housing unless it's from some kind of local organization. And those local organizations have a lot to deal with and a lot of people to handle. Any local organizations that are trying to get housing onto people's properties or just anywhere are having to go through so much red tape. There being restrictions put on them. They're trying to get people to get permits. And all of that should really be waived in this type of emergency situation. The only thing that the government should be worrying about, is this land safe to put a house on or some kind of temporary housing? If it's safe, if it's deemed safe, put it on there. Nothing else should matter. But that's not what's happening. So these people have no place to live. So the government decides that it's a good idea to have DCF go in and threaten these parents that if they do not find adequate housing, their children are going to get taken away from them. But based on everything I just said, how could they find adequate housing? Now let's add another layer. The people that do have houses still, a lot of those people don't have power. And who puts the power back on? The linemen. The same linemen that had been working for 8 weeks without pay, were not paid, went on strike, and then were fired. Then you have the situation where they offered people disaster EBT food stamps, and they gave these people 7 days to apply in person, online, or over the phone. But when people said, hey, these people don't have access to phones, they don't have access to internet, and they most certainly cannot get there in person, what are they supposed to do? There was no comment. So anyway, if you were wondering if the situation in North Carolina has been resolved after Helene, the answer is no. I know that I only mentioned probably 2% of what is actually going on there right now, but I absolutely refuse to stop talking about it. If you know of other things that are happening there right now that you want me to talk about, please leave a comment, message me, whatever you gotta do.